Good morning, we are at Disneyland. I am about to walk to the security entrance to downtown Disney. This is always the path that I take whenever it's too crowded at the parking garage because I don't like waiting in line for the trams with so many people. Honestly, it makes me a little anxious. But the main reason we are here today at Disneyland is because it is the opening day of Rogers the Musical, playing in Disney California Adventure. Okay, we are through security. There's a lot of music playing here in downtown. There's also a lot of walls up. You can still see they're doing, and here, still doing a lot of construction. A lot of things coming to downtown Disney, although the timeline is a little unclear, but we're eventually getting a Portos, which I'm so excited about. I love Portos, and a Din Tai Fung. Also love Din Tai Fung. And we need it. We need some better and just more food options here in downtown. So we don't know when they're gonna open, but I'm really excited for those. Also love the different music you get walking through downtown Disney. They updated the playlist for Disney 100. Right now you can maybe hear the Fantasmic theme song playing, which honestly kind of makes me a little sad right now because we don't have Fantasmic ever since our dragon caught on fire. It's been a couple months now. And we know there's not gonna be any Fantasmic until at least Labor Day, so until at least early September, but maybe longer. And it's really sad to not have Fantasmic all summer long. All right, we are walking inside California Adventure. The trolley over here is getting ready to load up. It's not super crowded today. It is a Friday in summer, so crowds are going to be here, but not too bad. More people start in Disneyland Park than California Adventure on an average day, so that makes DCA a little nice if you start here earlier in the morning. But also now that hot time is moved up to 11 a.m. instead of what it originally was, 1 p.m., the crowds get here a little earlier than normal, or than they used to. You can also see a little farther up there that the second trolley is running. It's pretty recent that they have two trolleys going at the same time, once again here in DCA. Which makes it nice if you're trying to ride the trolley around. So walking toward Hollywoodland in DCA, the Hyperion Theater down here is where Rogers the Musical is going to play. I'm here about an hour early for the virtual queue. It doesn't happen until 10:30 for the first two shows, and then again at 2 p.m. for the second two shows. And I haven't had to do a virtual queue for Disneyland in a long time. They took it away from Runaway Railway, so right now we only have virtual queue for World of Color, which I never use, and now Rogers the Musical. Oh, and you can actually see the banners behind me. They are lining the streets. It is the show to see in Disneyland right now. That's really fun to see a new little setup here. Let's go check out what's happening at the Hyperion Theater. So here it is, the Hyperion Theater. Hasn't been used in quite a while at Disneyland, not since before COVID. You can see it is all decked out in Rogers the Musical theming. They also have a sign up here where you can join the virtual queue via barcode, but it's obviously just right in your app. And on the front doors, you can see that it has the show times. Moving a little closer, we've got the opening day. It looks like a Broadway musical entrance. But here are the show times, 12:32, 4 and 5:30. Two virtual queues to try to get in. So they're also selling a sort of VIP package. I think it's like $29 that gets you a guaranteed seat and maybe a popcorn bucket and something else, maybe a photo opportunity. Those already sold out this morning before the park even opened. Hotel guests get early entry, and I saw that they bought it up before the park even opened this morning. So my guess is it's going to be pretty tough to get into the virtual queue also.
Can you take it a step further?
Sounds like there's something going on over at Adventure's campus, so let's go check it out.
That wasn't so hard, was it? From your silence, it was too advanced. So let's learn something a bit easier, huh? Watch. Join me, if you dare. Jab, straight, crouch, lock. So a few of you going in, but we can't do much better than that, yes? Jab, straight, crouch, lock. See, I told you. You stretched this morning, did you not? No. Thank you for your honesty. I heard the no. It is okay though. This is not a battle. It is for training purposes only. So if we have any brave warriors that would like to help lead this next portion, you may join in the center section. This way, it does not matter your age. Just step forward towards the center.
So I'm taking a little seat here in Cars Land with Radiator Springs Racers behind me. So I just want to make sure, because I know probably most people know what Rogers the Musical is, but maybe you're watching this and you're like, Caleb, what are you even talking about? What is Rogers the Musical? Well, it's obviously based on Captain America, Steve Rogers. And if you didn't watch the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus, this isn't really a spoiler alert, but the finale, the post-credits scene, there is this brief look of a musical, Rogers the Musical, that is this adaptation in musical form of Steve Rogers and some of the Avengers in their escapades. And so Disney has expanded on that brief look of the musical and created a full show. I think it's around 30 minutes. That is centered on Steve Rogers and his Avengers pals. And I have honestly kind of not looked too much more into it because I don't want to be spoiled. I want it to be as fresh as possible. And if I get in, I won't share any clips or videos of or details about the plot because I know a lot of other people don't want to be spoiled as well. But I'm really excited to see it. Hopefully I get in. And I'm really excited that Disney, invested in creating a show like this. Hopefully we'll see more in the future because Rogers the Musical is, the cars behind me, is a limited run. It's only running for a couple of months. So hopefully, we'll see other things like this, especially since we have this space, the Hyperion Theater. And it'll be good to see more of that here. It's more things for crowds to see, but also gets us to enjoy Disney in a couple of different ways. Doing just a little walk through what is currently Pacific Wharf, but will soon be San Fransokyo. And you can see there are a lot of walls up, but a lot of things on the way. Like behind this wall, there will be eventually a Baymax meet and greet. And here next to Cocina Cucamonga, there is going to be a new little quick shop, which I assume will have snacks and drinks. And then these other walls are largely them just creating new designs, building new things to add to the San Fransokyo design. Most of the restaurants are going to stay the same, but a couple will be rethemed. Pacific Wharf is going to be renamed to fit more with Big Hero 6. And they're also doing now more work on the bridge. Before, they painted it from the old blue to orange to match the theming of San Fransokyo, similar to the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. But now they've added these white bits here, which I assume will be painted as well. And so the bridge is currently closed. So you can't get over to Pixar Pier as conveniently as normal from Pacific Wharf / San Fransokyo. And then there are some wrappings up here while they do the retheme. Yeah, it seems like we're getting even closer to San Fransokyo opening, which is exciting. I found a nice little quiet corner that even has a little bit of greenery in the shade, which is nice because the sun is out now, so it's getting kind of warm. But about 10 minutes away to try the virtual queue for Rogers the Musical. It's looking like it's going to be pretty tough. There are a lot of people over by the theater right now getting photos, and I see a lot of people in either Captain America or other Avengers gear, so I think there are a lot of people, not surprisingly, trying to see this on the first day. We'll see. I'm usually pretty good at virtual queues, but Disneyland has been having a lot of technical issues this week, especially with Oogie Boogie cells, so we'll see how it goes.
You are now standing in my private office.
I know.
Where I carefully scrutinize
each and every piece that comes to me from different parts of the galaxy that have let you this guy.
Hearing you insist blathering on a constant loop was big motivation for me to escape. I go, ow! Ow! What? That was not part of the plan.
What? Of course I escaped. For those of you who have not been paying attention, the name's Rocket, one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. The smart one.
So good news, I made it through the virtual queue and got a seat at the first showing of Rogers the Musical today at 12:30. I'm really excited. So I'm trying to get some food in before I go see it. And I'm at my favorite spot to get quick service in DCA. Most people know that I really love chicken tenders. It's just such a reliable, good food choice at Disney, and the chicken tenders are pretty fire at Disney. But here at Smokejumpers, you've got chicken tenders and other basics, like chicken sandwiches and burgers and salads and things like that. It's usually not too crowded. Right now it's really quiet, even though it's like right at lunchtime. And if you can get a spot inside, it's really cool and shaded. There's a lot of tables outside too that are shaded as well, so that's a good option. But I really like the design in here. It's, you know, it's in Grizzly Peak, and it's right next door to Soar in here. So they have a similar sort of theming. You can even see a little bear over here. I love all the bear themes. So about to eat down these chicken tenders and then go wait in line for Rogers the Musical. Apparently they start letting people either line up or get in around 30 to 45 minutes before. It's kind of interesting because there are a few Disney moments where it's like a first for me, but this is for me. And even though, like I said, they've done some previews, this is the first full day of normal general public shows for Rogers the Musical. So I'm sure they're going to be working some stuff out as well, but I want to make sure I get a good seat and see it. I'm not going to share any spoilers. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who wants to see on their own, but I will talk about the show and what I think about it, but I'm really excited. So I am walking out to the Hyperion Theater to see what they're doing about letting people in and seeing, and you can see there are already a lot of people congregated. I have no idea what this crowd is for, but I definitely know a lot of people are excited for the show. Fortunately, I got an early barcode. It was absolute mayhem back there trying to get in. I was expected for this first show, but we're now looping through the queue to go into the Hyperion Theater. See, people are already out here waiting. Getting ready for the show. Really great curtain. And it is already starting to be a full theater. Just about 10 minutes away. Okay, I'm back from the crowds after I just saw Rogers the Musical. Guys, it is really, really good. It is a great show. I went in, thinking it was pretty good. Most things Disney does is good. But honestly, I was so impressed and surprised at how much I enjoyed it. The acting is so good. I really enjoyed the story. The singing is phenomenal. Most of all, this show has a lot of heart. They put a lot of work into making this a very just enjoyable and lovable and heartfelt story. And I love that. Few people can do that better than Disney. And I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil it, but I'll show you a few pictures that I took during it that are not spoilerish. So as you can probably tell from those, the costumes are also really good. The people playing each character, from even obviously Steve and Peggy and Nick Fury, were great, but even some of the characters that you don't get to see as much on stage, like Iron Man and Black Widow and the Hulk and even the Loki appearance, it just really real. Hawkeye obviously was in there, but I'm just like all smiles after watching it because I enjoyed it so much. It is, going to be a tough one to see because you got to do the virtual queue, and that's always tough. But if you can make a trip here to DCA at Disneyland for Rogers the Musical before it runs out, it's only about a 2-ish month run, I think, maybe less. I'd have to double check the date, but I think it ends in August. It is such a good show. I highly recommend it. And hopefully Disney will keep giving us shows like this at the Hyperion Theater. So I just hopped over to his Disneyland park on Main Street, Castaway behind me. It's actually not too crowded here for early afternoon on a Friday. The main goal here is not only is it opening day for Rogers the Musical, but it's also opening day for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I saw it on Wednesday night. Disney and Box Lunch invited me to an early screening, but I've got an Indiana Jones shirt on today that I got from that screening from Box Lunch and Disney. And the film opens today. Alongside that, the Indiana Jones face character is supposed to be out starting today somewhere near the ride in Adventureland. I've never seen Indiana Jones like walking around in a Disney park, so I'm hoping I'll see him. That'll be really fun. So we're gonna head over to Adventureland and see if he's out. So we're walking through Adventureland, passing the Tiki Room. Jungle Cruise coming up. I think he's supposed to be moving out around here, close to the entrance to the Indiana Jones ride. But given that I don't see a wild mass of people clustered in one spot, my guess is he's not out here. But let's walk a little closer and see. Okay, I didn't see Indy, but I am checking out finally the new merch in the Adventureland shop. I saw a few people wearing this t-shirt at the screening on Wednesday night, and I actually really like it. I love that it's a simple design and very classic look. Also have a tumbler, of course a whip, and the little pop guy. Little Indy. They also have the classic hat that they also handed out on Wednesday night, so I now have one of these. It's a good look, I gotta admit. Well, my day at Disneyland is coming to an end. Overall, it was a success. The main reason, wow, I cannot talk. This heat's gotten to me. The main reason being that I got to see Rogers the Musical, which is better than I expected. And I'm really fortunate that I was able to get into that first show. God, I cannot talk. First show on the virtual queue. Did not get to see Indiana Jones. I think he may have only been running around earlier this morning. So may have to try again another day before he's gone. But overall, good day. Rode a few rides. I rode on Haunted and Indy, and Astro Blasters and Guardians earlier. So it was a pretty good day. It's pretty hot. Maybe that's why it's not so crowded, but I'm about to grab an iced coffee and make my way home. I'll see you next time from the parks.